Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bama Standard, brought to you by Michael Petyak of Oakmont Financial Partners, member of Advisory Board Services Network, LLC, and Workspace Solutions. I'm your host, Over the Hill Powerlifter and Bama grad Justin Riley. With me, as always, is a senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith, and one of the greatest men to ever tote the rock across that field, Bo Scarbrough.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, and he's still smoking them because he's got them.
They're right.
And without further, what's that?
I said that's right. You know it.
I know. I do know. Stephen Smith, go ahead and introduce our guest. I know you're going to bring him in the right way.
Look, man, I'm still trying to escape the haze of cigar smoke inside Brian Denny. I'm kind of like, Malachi Moore when he sat there and said they tried to mess with my asthma. Leave Malachi Moore breath alone, man. That boy got to breathe out on the field. But without further ado, we got the two guests in the building, man. When I talk about we got old school and new school, we got old school and new school. I watched both of these guys, so I feel like I'm amongst football royalty. I watched one of them. I actually covered the other one while he was in Alabama, so it definitely feel like football royalty. But without, we got Antonio Carter in here, man. We got AC, one of the baddest receivers to walk the face of the earth, man. I mean, you can't tell a speeding bullet to slow down. So you got Antonio Carter, and then we got one of the baddest running backs. And I tell you, man, when I talked to Lester Cotton to this day, this boy be crying every time he see this running back right here. We got Bo Scarbrough in the building, man. We got Bo making Lester Cotton still be crying.
Yes, sir.
Well, Stephen, I had to say something. Bo is actually one of our co-hosts now. He's not a guest anymore. He's part of the family.
You know what? And that's fantastic. I mean, that's even better.
That is.
We all family here tonight, guys.
Yes.
But look, before I start fussing about things we need to work on, fellas, how great is it to beat Tennessee?
Man, it feels amazing. That people understand this the big one. It ain't the one at the end of the year. We always want to beat them, but Tennessee is hate week.
Man, I'm gonna say this. Probably the only negative thing that came from that game was Montana Fouts did not win homecoming queen. That was probably the only negative thing that came from that. But aside from that, I felt like, Bryce Young did his thing. About time a boy ran the ball with his legs.
Right.
He ran the ball, did some great things out there. Brian Robinson's continuing to build that draft value at running back. Bo, you said from the jump, B. Rob is going to be a first-round back. He's doing it right there. He's doing it right there.
He's creeping up.
I mean,
watch this.
So absolutely. So there were some good things we saw. And, of course, it's fun when you beat Tennessee. You jump in the stands and smoke with the fans and with the students. And I saw a picture with Bryce Young with a cigar. I'm like, something don't seem right about this, but he tried to smoke the cigar.
Man, it's a big win either way. I know to a lot of us old heads who remember when the rivalry was really competitive, it means a lot. And to the football players, you guys, it means a lot. But to the outside world, I don't think they really truly understand what it means to beat the Vols.
Man, that's always a big game. The third Saturday in October, that's one of those you circle on the calendar before the season starts. That whole week, you hear Rocky Talk playing in the indoor facility. You want to just it drives you crazy. So you want to get out there and beat them even more. But, man, that's always, as a player and, people that's really close to the football world, they know that is the biggest game of the schedule the Tennessee game.
I think for more so than that, AC, to me, you got some of the biggest coaches that have been in this rivalry. When you look at, Coach Paul Bryan and General Nealon and Johnny Majors and those guys, and then when Philip Fulmer came in here and the stuff he tried to pull when Fulmer was at Tennessee, you just like, now I really want to beat this team because I can't stand Fulmer over there on the other sideline. And then, of course, I was talking to Terrence Cody, TC, about this last week. I was like, TC, when you block them 2 field goals, man, me as a kid, I'm running around saying, thank God for big people. I don't care if you're all 100 pounds, man. Like, thank God for big people.
Yeah, Mount Cody made it happen. But, man, I'm proud of those young guys. They did a phenomenal job. You know, we made some mistakes, but they finished well, and that's what it's all about. You know, the way them guys finished, the way they kept it together, where the leaders stepped up, you know, Coach Saban and the staff, they rallied the troops, man. And those young guys stepped up, and that's what people don't understand, how young guys are. I mean, we got a bunch of sophomores out there, you know, but guys that's really playing really well. B-Rob, like you said, he putting the team on his back and just running that football with so much power, so much, just relentless once he get the football. I mean, you don't want to get in his way. I mean, I'm watching him on TV like, them guys don't want none of that. And so he's doing a phenomenal job.
That's what I'm saying. Give it to him 32 times a game. Let him do his thing. Let him get over.
I mean, it ain't even just him running no more, guys. It's they throwing it to him and he putting moves on guys. I'm like, hold up, is this B-Rob or is this CJ2K, Chris Johnson back with the Titans, man?
Well, they're showing his versatility, man. And then not only that, you watch him in protection. I mean,
that too, though.
The guy's doing phenomenal. He's playing big time football. He's been that team guy.
But what's crazy is when he was at Hillcrest, because I self-scouted him out of Hillcrest. When he was in high school, he could pass protect. That was not even nothing new. Like he was doing a lot of this at Hillcrest.
Man, he's all around right now. Protection, pass game. I mean, he's a 4-down back. You know, some people I know are saying he's a first down, no third down, take him out, but leave him in the game. The guy can do it.
Yeah, let him play. Let him play.
No doubt. I totally agree.
And it's funny, if you listen to the analysts and announcers, they're acting like he's new, like they've never seen this before. He's always had that value, but now we're finally getting to see it on full display. Finally, Bill O'Brien is trusting them and letting B-Rob dictate the game.
You want to know why Bill O'Brien? You want to know why he's doing this, Justin? Because I sent Bill O'Brien that text message last week.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Get in there the ball. I'm packing your stuff up, and you getting out. Like I sent Bill O'Brien that text message.
Well, man, I'm proud of just being patient. The guy was patient. The guy didn't rage fuss, didn't enter no portal. The guy from Tuscaloosa, hometown guy, sat there, was patient, and did it the right way. And now he's being rewarded for it. I'm proud of him.
Speaking of creating value, we have a question from the audience member, and it has to do with Jaw Hall and his situation. We've talked about this before, but AC, Bo, I want to hear your direct thoughts on it. Joseph L. asks, what do you think of the Jaw Hall situation? Y'all think he's going to stay?
So I don't even know what – go ahead, Bo, because I don't even know what the situation is.
In my opinion, I think he should stay. You know, I think he should get his ducks in a row. You know, buy into the program. You know, do what he need to do. What need to be done when it's supposed to be done and where it's supposed to be done. Get Coach Saban to trust you again, because if he can't trust you off the field, you know, 9 times out of 10 he gonna trust you. He can't trust you on the field, because if he feel like you can't go to class for 50 minutes, how he expect you to play in a 3-hour game if you can't do that for 50 minutes?
That's good.
I think that he need to get his ducks in a row, put his head down, grind hard, you know, do what Coach Saban, you know, don't want him to do, and trust the process, man, because we all know if you trust the process, buy into the program, do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, where it's supposed to be done, everything gonna work out for you. You know, he got to be mentally strong, you know.
That's
he got the physicality, but he got to be mental. The mental part ain't there, you know. Because no one said the game was going to be easy. No one promised him a spot to be coming in here starting right off the way, whether he do bad, good, or ugly. Nah, you got to come in and earn it. All the spots go out the way. You got to come in, compete, earn your spot, because you know you're going to play against the best of the best at Alabama. You're going to practice against the best of the best. So when the game comes, it's easy. So that's what he need to do, buy into the program. I don't think he need to leave. I think he need to buy in, get his mind right, mentally be a man, because you're a man now. You got responsibility. Handle your responsibility. Go to class and go on the field and do what you're supposed to do and put your head down.
That's good. And so
Yes.
explain. So what's the situation with him, Justin?
But so the situation with him is AC is so Hall was one of 4 receivers that came in this class, this recent class right here. He's from Florida, so he came in with the 5 stars with all the notoriety behind his name, and he played in the spring game in April, and he had a really good spring game. So we live in this social media age where everybody's telling you how good you are before you even actually get on the campus. So by the time you get on the campus, you have this mindset of, I don't have to do nothing because you see my following already tell me I'm the man. So
Right.
I don't have to do much. Check out my following. But we all know that's not how Coach Saban and this program is set up. Coach Saban can give 2 cents about your star rating. And a lot of times it's, you not only got to consistently impress Coach Saban, but you got to consistently impress your position coach. Because what people don't realize, when Coach Saban is in those team meetings, he's asking these coaches, who's stepping up, who doing the right things, who doing what they need to do, who deserves that increased playing time, more importantly, who deserves to get that playing time. And a lot of times Saban takes the information from those position coaches and he applies that to what his decision is going to be out there on the field. So for Hall, it's, if you, like Bo was mentioning, if you're not doing the necessary things off the field, in the classroom, in the weight room, in the film room, putting the right stuff in your body, if you're not doing those things off the field, then Coach Saban and that staff is not going to trust you to get out there in that game because, let's be honest, Alabama football is a reflection of Nick Saban. And Nick Saban ain't going to put nobody on the field that's not ready to be on the field. So if you want John Hall, go talk to John Mechie. John Mechie didn't play right away, but you're seeing what John Mechie doing right now. Go talk to Brian Robinson. Perfect example. He didn't start right away, but you're seeing what Brian Robinson doing right now. So it's all about, it can be frustrating, but you stay the course. And you see what happens when you stay the course.
I totally agree. So, I mean, from just hearing the situation, I would just encourage that young man to, like you said, embrace the process. It ain't going to be easy. Everything is earned. And, one of the things I always go by, man, every day is an interview. Every day is an interview. I mean, you compete every day. What you done yesterday or the day before in practice or last game, it doesn't matter. You have to do it again. And that's what makes this game so hard. You must be consistent at a high level. And you don't do that if you're not consistent at a high level, you're going to see decrease. You're going to see, your confidence, all that is going to drop. But you have to be mentally prepared for that every day. And if you're not focused and you're listening to the noise around you and the distractions of the fans, the student body, your family members, you can easily get yourself out of place to where you're being at your best. So you must lock in. Right now, it's all about your team. He need to, some of those leaders need to surround him and just encourage him. And, he's going to get tough love from Coach Saban, which that's what he deserves. That's what it's all about. But, I would encourage that young man to just stay the course, embrace the process, put some earmuffs on, put your hard hat on and go to work.
Without a doubt. And I think, to tie this in, I think a lot of people have even asked this question: why aren't we seeing Kool-Aid McKinstry? Why aren't we seeing a lot of these guys in this highly touted this class? Well, I think that ties into maybe these guys in Saban's eyes have not created that value in some phase, whether it's on the field, the practice field, like Bo mentioned, the classroom, and he isn't able to really trust that personnel group to put them in. And the reason why we're seeing this secondary that's struggling so much is because maybe Coach Saban's hands are tied. What do y'all think?
And I've mentioned this because Saban, it's not the fact that Coach Saban does not want to play these young guys like Kool-Aid McKinstry, like Terrion Arnold, like Marcus Banks, Christian Story, among others. It's a situation where Saban could see, okay, I may have an older guy like a Josh Jobe, right here that's doing the right things off the field, but on the field, he may not be as highly regarded at some of these young guys. And though I may want to play a young guy, that young guy may not be doing the necessary things he needs to do to earn that trust. So Coach Saban's like, what do I do here? So you have to continue with the older guy, because at least with him, you got that loyalty of he's going to do what needs to be done off the field to ensure that leadership situation. So to me, it's that thing of, as much as Saban wants to look at maybe a younger guy, his hands are kind of tied because he's waiting on when is that young guy gonna get it? Like, when is that light bulb gonna finally come on in all phases? People fail to realize Saban is concerned about the whole athlete. He wants you to be great on the field, but he wants you to be great in that classroom. That graduation rate important to Coach Saban. He wants you to be great on that practice field. That's important to Coach Saban. He wants you to be great out there in the community. That's important to Coach Saban. He's important. He's concerned about the whole athlete.
That's exactly right, man. That is exactly right. You have to buy into the whole, because it's not just about being a good football player. He wants you to be a good person, and he tells those young men that when he goes into their living rooms and recruits them, that it's bigger than football. I mean, when you leave football gonna end for you at some point, and he sets you up for what's ahead of you, being a good husband, being a good father, being a good man in your community, wherever you're at. So that's what's important to Coach Saban. So it's just not the football aspect of it. He's going to teach you to be the best man you can be.
Bo, you're closer in age to these younger guys. Do you think that maybe with all the distractions that's going on with the
NIL.
The NIL, thank you. I couldn't speak. NIL, and then of course the ranking system, the grading. Do you think that maybe in these guys' mind they think, well, I'm already rated this high. I already got this NIL deal. I got this Twitter following, whatever. In their mind, do they think that because of that they've already created that value and that automatically grants them that spot on the field?
The fans and their following can make them feel like that. They can feel their heads up with that about being this certain type of player. Then plus the money that come behind it also changes their thought and feeling. That's make them more confident or maybe even arrogant at the time. I could say because of sometimes when you're young and got a lot of money. You're not thinking. You think you can do what you want to do. You the best that's out here, and can't nobody touch you. But I think that it plays a role in it. But I wouldn't say that it's the fully thing. But I definitely think that it plays a big role into them acting the way that they act, and maybe can change their mind of being arrogant. You know what I mean? Because guys riding around on campus in big boy Range Rovers and all that because of the type of deal and the type of money that they have, opposed to the guys that came in like when I was coming out of high school, going into college. We didn't have the deal, so we were hungry. We were grinding, trying to get to the next level, trying to be the best of the best on the field. We came out every day and competed. If you ain't competed, we sent you back in the locker room.
Period.
Right.
Period. And that's what it's all about, man. It starts with the locker room. That was the biggest thing. I was talking to someone earlier about, the policing and the leadership is done in there. When the coaches are doing the policing, when the coaches are doing the stop, don't do that, behave, why you miss class. When it's more of the coaches than your peers and your teammates in the locker room, I haven't been around a lot of great programs that's done well, or great teams that's done well. All the teams that's been successful that I've been a part of, the policing was done in the locker room. We held each other accountable. And whether you were doing right or whether you were doing wrong or whatever it was, we had that brotherhood where, and still to this day, I talk to my guys, they'll tell me, hey, AC, man, what you got? Why did you do that? Or why did you say that? Or whatever the case may be. And that's how it's supposed to be. And when that is going on in the locker room, you don't see as much of that. It's not any division. There's no division. And, and that was when the NLI, when the deal came out, I thought that would be a problem, the money and separating the guys. But when you're like this, when you have that brotherhood and you are one and you're chasing the same goals and you're competing each and every day to get each other better, not to overshadow, be a crab in the bucket to bring someone down. No, we're gonna bring each other up, in one-on-ones as a receiver. When I beat you on a go ball, I'm gonna say, hey man, your hands are too high. You ain't moving your feet. I mean, it's that kind of stuff, and that's what brings that together. What Bo was talking about, to where, I mean, you don't want a cord. You don't want a cord. So that NLI, it doesn't bring that division in.
That's huge, man, right there. The policing, the accountability, but also, taking the moment and teaching your brother, helping him learn from his mistakes.
That's
And
exactly right.
yeah, it's definitely evident those things aren't really present right now. And it's been said across the board from former players everywhere. And even into this comment by someone from our audience, the Petties, second time this season, Bama came out flat and unfocused in the first half after a dominating win. And if you look during games, there's always some point, whether it's in the first half or second half, the offense or defense kind of gets into this lull, kind of like they're in a zombie type state where they're not really energized and not really motivated. And it's been undisciplined play. I mean, if you look, Josh Jove, for example, not being set, we're having false starts, running into the kicker, lack of communication. And, guys, we're 8 games in. This stuff should be cleaned up by now. And we shouldn't be talking about what we need to clean up. I mean, at this point in the season, we're all grown men here. We've put away the childish things, the baby things, man. We're grown men.
Yeah. That's that leadership, Justin. Again, that's that leadership, to where I'm holding my buddy accountable. Like, bro, I mean, you go up to, hey, coach, don't play him again. Take him out. That kind of stuff. You step up and you take charge, and you go if you're walking the walk and doing what you're supposed to do, you can go to that guy and say, hey man, what's going on? I mean, I don't see a lot of that. Me personally, that's one of the things I look for when I'm watching the game. I just don't see anyone really just stepping up and just being that bulldog and not really being sitting back and worried about not wrinkling any feathers or upsetting or getting guys to play ball. I haven't seen that, to where that guy just say, hey man, what's going on? I don't see that. And it could be going on. I don't know. But I'm watching the play, and I'm kind of watching the sideline and the huddle presence. I don't see anyone just taking charge.
I think, and that goes back to a conversation I had with my man Mike McCoy, and that conversation was, there's a lot of nice guys on the team, but there's not enough guys where when that switch is flipped, you don't want to mess with those guys.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing that I was saying about the Texas A&M game.
Right.
When it's time to get nitty and gritty into the grind, we don't have no dogs that step up and pick the team up and say, let's ride.
Right.
Absolutely. Because I remember. Yeah.
When back in 2015 and 2016, when we came out, man, Jay Reed and Pet Wade and Big Leg and all them boys were beat. Them boys were standing down the other sideline letting the offense. No, we finna kick y'all ass, man. This ain't
right.
Don't walk through.
I mean, for real.
And the same on my end, with Chris Samuels, Sean Alexander.
Yeah, when
I played with some guys that, man, they gonna snatch you up, literally. They may get arrested. I mean, literally. I played with some guys.
Yeah.
Marvin Constant. I played with some guys that it was strictly business, and you wasn't gonna mess up their view. Because when you're not doing right, it's a team. So I'm not. So it's on me too. And them guys was not gonna let you do it. They will snatch you up, literally.
And that's the thing, guys. I mean, I was there with UAC, and of course, I watched your team, Bo. Y'all were such dogs that the people that lined up against you were already peeing down their leg. They were already peeing down their leg because you already had them beat mentally. All you had to do was look in their eyes. They were done. All Ashawn Robinson had to do was look in their eyes, looking like a grown man. And everybody was done.
Telling you.
Look, all Reuben Foster had to do was pull out that Newport. It was over. It was over.
But man, that was some, but seriously though, I mean, you guys talking about these young guys, and I'm not just saying Alabama. I mean, I'm around a lot of young athletes now. I don't see that straight up, just that dog, get out here, nitty gritty, play ball.
Want me to tell you why?
I haven't seen that in a while because that's what it's all about. We're going to bring it every day. I'm going to embarrass you. That's how I was in practice every day.
First of all, it started off in middle school. So they baby in middle school, then get to high school, they showing up baby them. And then when they get to high school, college still don't go their way, they transfer.
Yeah,
it don't work like that.
Yeah, it don't work like that.
Mm-mm.
You better suck it up and let's go to work.
Listen.
Yes,
because when I see you start whining and crying, I'm gonna really embarrass you. It's gonna really you're gonna really have a long day. It's gonna get ugly for you.
They better go add T. Brown when I did to him in high school. I had him crying out. Hey, T. Brown was a senior. I was a freshman.
Exactly.
Don't do all that crying. Line up.
Yeah, that's the mindset. You know, it's kind of like that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, blood in the water. And even with my kids, I'm not gonna let you win. You want to play me one-on-one? I'm gonna beat you 1,000 out of 1,000.
Yes,
ain't no winning. Ain't no letting up. Ain't none of that. I'm gonna dominate. Relentless mindset when it comes to the competitive edge, and I just don't see a lot of that.
AC.
I mess with my guy right here now. See, he telling it how it is and how it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to go.
Oh, period. That's the only way. That's the only way. And you know, like I talk to my brothers and my friends. We talk all the time. It was a different when I played ball. I had a whole nother mindset. Nothing else mattered. Period. I'm gonna embarrass you, and these people that came to see me, I owe them this. I owe the fans a great show. I owe them my best. I owe them everything I got. I mean, it's nothing. They're gonna have to carry me off this field, and that was the mindset. I'm gonna dominate each and every rep. Period.
Each and every rep, day in and day out.
I mean, ain't no stopping. It was only one way to play the game. That was full speed, relentless, mean, hard, aggressive. Everything I got, I'm going to dog you out, whatever it takes. Period.
And, Bo, you were that way when you first got there, man. Like you said before, you came into a running back room full of how many? And transfer portal wasn't, 8. Transfer portal was not an option. You said, you know what? I'm going to take this position. And you did. And you did. These guys, listen, I get in some circumstances, What's that?
I'm running for? What I'm running for? What I'm a transfer for? Did what I can't. This is what I committed to.
Right.
I knew what I was getting myself into when I committed. So you know what you get. You ain't that crazy that you don't know what you getting yourself into when you commit to the game.
It's Alabama.
You know we don't do easy work over there. You know that. You know we 4th quarter strong, and we'll go 5 quarter if it were possible.
Period. That's
how
mindset.
We roll.
Yeah, I mean that's the mindset. And I just
no 5-star who?
That don't mean nothing.
Hey,
you got to show me every day.
I'm not letting up on you. I'm not running soft. I'm gonna run you over, and I'm gonna keep doing it and keep doing it. If you beat me, I will be back to let you know you in for a long one.
Yeah, and that's how it was, you know. Like I see Wayne Baker, I see a lot of guys that's on.
Yeah.
I mean, we played, that's how we was every day. We competed. I mean, outside of ball, we was like this. We was so tight. But on that field, you would think I couldn't stand them guys. You would think they didn't like me. That's how it was. It was like, it was a different mentality.
That was Jordan the Bulls. That was Jordan the Bulls.
It was a different mentality every day in practice. But outside of football, you weren't going to touch one of them. You weren't going to talk about them in front of me. You weren't going to do nothing to hurt my brothers. We was like this. But on that field, we competed every single day. Every single day. It was an interview. I had to show up every day or get embarrassed. Every day. I mean, that's what we won at. And I tell everybody to the day, Saturdays was fun. It was easy. I practiced against the best every day. Every day I practiced against the best DBs in the country. And that was so on Saturdays it was easy.
Without a doubt. Donald Schultz says defense has always been a staple at Bama. Golding in the new era of kids have removed that staple. I completely agree. Listen, one of the things that I've questioned, we all been questioning about play calling on defense, play calling on offense. Well, if things aren't going the way they should, my question is now, and yes, I'm probably going to get stoned at the square for saying this. Why isn't Coach Saban overriding some of these play calling like he used to? When things got out of hand or things weren't looking right, man, he veto whatever it is and he'd make a change. Like in Bo's day, he pulled Jalen, put in Tua. So when the change had to be made, it was made, but it doesn't look like that he's really stepping in, at least not right now, and making that change. Look at the offensive line. That's one of my biggest gripes right now. Right now, Chris Owens and Javion Cohen are getting flat out worked. It's time to put Owens back at center, his natural position, and then put Latham over there at right tackle. Something's got to work because Bryce Young right now is starting to peak. He's starting to ball, and Tennessee said, "You're going to beat us by yourself." And the bad thing is they got what they asked for because that young man killed him through the air and with his feet. And I'm proud of that guy for finally starting to run that ball when he had to. But y'all go ahead. Sorry, I kind of went on a rant there.
So go ahead.
Go ahead, Stephen. No, go ahead, Stephen.
What I was going to say here is, first and foremost, with the defense, is this right here. And I've said this for a minute here. There's the big difference right now between Coach Saban and Nick and Kirby Smart. And this is no shade to Coach Saban. Coach Saban is a Fortune 500 CEO. He is delegating the power to the assistant coaches, right? Kirby Smart is a head coach, but he still acts like he's a DC. If you watch those Georgia games, I don't know who the Georgia defensive play caller is. He ain't running that defense. If you watch when Georgia's defense is on the field, look at Kirby's mannerisms. He is yelling, screaming, running in folks' face, chest bumping. Kirby Smart is physically, emotionally, mentally, and psychologically vetted in that defense, and Georgia is feeding off that. That team's got 15 dudes, 10 on that defensive line that may go in the first round of next year's draft because they're feeding continuously off the energy and the vibe that Kirby Smart is putting out there. That's an attacking defense. I don't know what type of vibe Pete Golden is putting out here.
We need Scott Cochran.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. When Scott Cochran was out there, it was crazy. But Scott Cochran was yelling and turned up and head swerving like them dudes were feeding off that. That dude was they were feeding off that. And you could tell the energy. It was tangible. It was a chemistry. It was like walking in church and catching the Holy Ghost or something. That's how that energy was. No joke. That's how energy was. And that's not in Alabama where this defense is concerned.
I agree with that. That got some truth to it. But again, I just think it's time for the guys to step up. Coach Saban is
that also though. That's true also.
Yeah, I think the players need to take ownership of that. I agree Coach Cochran was great, brought great energy. I think Kirby Smart brings great energy. But I think the teaching part of it, Coach Saban, the mindset where he's at teaching-wise, I think it's time. The torch is being passed a little. And it's okay to do that. He's putting more responsibility on those kids. You got to earn it. I mean, if you need Scott Cochran or the coach to be chest bumping you to do all that to get you to play ball, then that's a problem.
It is.
I can see that also.
That's a problem. I need some self-motivators. If I got to tell you to giddy up, I don't need you. I need to be telling you to whoa.
That's why we don't play music in the locker room, because you get yourself ready to play. That's why Coach Saban don't play music. Listen to
Coach Saban don't need. That's what I'm saying. So that's never really been us.
Listen to.
Yeah, he let Cochran them. that was Cochran's personality. So he didn't stop Cochran from doing that. But other coaches, that's not their personality. So Coach Saban said, okay, you still should be playing ball. I mean, Coach Cochran, whatever coach, whoever it is, they got to come get in your face and slap you and do all that to get you to play ball. Then, man, you need to be standing beside me.
Now, Stacey Blackwood mentioned something interesting right here because he was talking about how the communication among the players is a big problem also, and I do agree with that. I mean, there have been a lot of moments this season where the play call comes in defensively, and a few players may get the play call, other players might not know what's going on, and that's when you have guys misaligned, you have guys not communicating. So, but the communication on the field where the players are concerned,
that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm going back to. It's all of these things that we're talking about. It's players. Those calls coming ain't got nothing to do with those coaches. Them guys. You can just tell they're not mentally, they're lethargic. They're just kind of in this daze. They're not playing with energy. They're not playing with their hair on fire. They're not showing any urgency. That ain't got nothing to do with Golden. That ain't got nothing to do with Coach Saban. Those guys not getting the lineup and got set. Yeah, they knew Tennessee was going into the ball game and going to play fast. Get your butt set and let's go. That ain't got nothing to do with coaching. That's on those kids, and they got to be held accountable for that. That ain't coaching. What I'm watching out there, that's those kids not focused and not mentally tough and staying in tune to what's going on. That's my personal opinion.
No, matter of fact, it's fact, and this is what people need to hear. Listen, this show, we're not about to sugarcoat anything. We're not going to be politically correct. We're not going to be professional. We're going to come with it, and this is exactly what people need to hear. Young people coming up, this is what you need to hear right here, man. Not any of this getting ranked, not any of this NIL crap, not opting out of your senior year of high school so you can go get money, man. Listen, you get paid if you make it to the NFL. Let the NFL worry about the NFL. Focus on the journey, not just the destination.
That's good, man. That's it.
Be where your feet are.
Come on, man. These guys just their loyalty, their work habits, their want to, their drive, their hunger to just be the best. Again, I don't want to, but when we played to be the best. The making it to the NFL was a goal and that was a reward. But at the end of the day, I wanted that man to go to sleep at night to dream about how many times I done ran by him, how many touchdowns I done scored on him, how many times I done blocked him and drove him in the dirt. How many times I just dominated him for 4 quarters. That's what it's all about when you talk about the game of football. Just being a complete competitor and dominating each and every time. And when you're doing that, all of those goals, all those things that you want and that your desires of your heart and all those things are going to fall right in place when you just give your very, very best.
Now, and I think, AC, a lot of this all goes back to one thing. People are driven by trigger words, trigger statements, trigger phrases. So this is what I mean by that. When you look at this recent class that just came in, we all heard all off season, the best Saban's ever signed, the greatest Saban's ever signed. Never seen a class like this. When you hear certain trigger words, it grabs people in. Oh, this is the best. I got to see this. Oh, greatest? Hold on here. Oh, I've never seen a class like this. So when you tell these 18-year-old kids those types of trigger words, they automatically feel like I don't got to earn it because I'm seeing all over Twitter. I'm seeing all over Instagram. Right. I'm seeing all over Facebook. I'm the greatest in this class. Nobody never seen anything quite like me. I'm the best ever. So now their work ethic has completely hit the wayside because these trigger words have come in, and that's become the biggest curse, if you will. When those trigger words come in, it pushes the work ethic out the window.
Yeah. And you bring up a very good point. I think these kids are more driven by Instagram and Twitter. But when you were playing, man, all that stuff was there. I don't think I ever remember you not once, being on Instagram or Twitter talking yourself
Hold
up,
on.
running your
No, no,
mouth.
no, 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 no,
But
no,
these
no,
kids,
no.
hold on, Steve. But these kids, the moment they do anything, the moment they get a new, fresh pick from the Associated Press, they're right on their social media with some catchphrase to try to bring glory to themselves. Bo, I didn't once see you do that. Of course, AC, we didn't have that. We barely had America Online. So,
Right. We didn't get cell phones. I didn't get a cell phone till my junior year.
but Bo, if you would talk on that, man, that you were in the age where that stuff was at its height, and you not once tried to show yourself like that.
Man, because I'm all about like doing the right thing first. You know what I mean? Like I'm not about to go out there and say that I'm the best and this and that, and then go out there and get my ass, you know what I'm saying, knocked around.
Right.
Nah, I'm gonna just let you do all that, and then when we get on the field, and then I will talk to you personally, and I'm gonna let my work show because I wasn't into the social media of using it as this is who I am and I'm the best at this. Nah, I'm gonna use it for likeness, showing what I'm doing, you know, pictures that from the game and stuff like that to try to motivate younger kids to, because that's what they want to do when they see pictures of Michael Jordan, LeBron James. They want to be like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. So that's what I was thinking. Inspiration of the younger kids that growing up. Like I got a kid right now over there at Bryant, Tobias, and he always hit me up for advice. And I've been knowing him since he was a little boy. Now he's one of the big receivers at Bryant High School. So that was my main focus with social media. I wasn't trying to get on there and say that I'm this and I'm that, and then I'm this arrogant person. Nah, because that's not me. I'm not arrogant. I'm a likable person. I'm get along with everybody. I speak, because one day in the age you're gonna all be gone, and ain't nobody gonna want to speak to you. So when you in this spotlight, you treat everybody the way you want to be treated because one day you gonna need those people in whatever aspect that you never may know. You may be 90 day though 15 to 20 years from now trying to get a job. So you
That's
Mm-hmm.
powerful.
the way
That's
you want to
powerful.
be treated. You know what I mean? So you respect others. You respect people. That's what you're supposed to do no matter how much money you got or how big of a player you are. You always supposed to respect people because that's how you get your respect, by respecting others. Because if you don't respect other people, why would I respect you when you don't respect AC, Justin, or Steven?
Thank you.
You
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now,
That's
now,
good.
now, Samuel Wilkinson did write something in here that about this freshman class, and the freshman class is big time. The freshman class does have a lot of talented people in this group, absolutely, but it does go back to even these guys as young guys, and I know a lot of them are frustrated. I know a John Hall is frustrated. I know
Yeah.
Christian Leary is probably frustrated.
Stay
JoJo Earl's
focused.
probably frustrated. A lot of these guys are frustrated. But at the same time, it is you got to continue to buy fully into the process because think of this. After this year, John Mechie's going pro. After this year, Jamison Williams is going pro. So you look at next spring, John Hall, here's your chance.
but he
Right.
still
JoJo
got to
Earl,
compete. Still got
absolutely.
to compete.
Absolutely. You still got to compete, but you have an opportunity. JoJo Earl, you're going to have an opportunity. Christian Leary, you're going to have an opportunity. The opportunity is put in front of you. It's who is willing to consistently understand. Look, I'm at Alabama. I'm at the biggest program in college football. I'm
Mm-hmm.
at the mecca of college football. I'm at the program where I'm gonna be on national TV every single week. I'm at the program people are praying for this program. When is it gonna fall? When is it gonna go down? Like I'm at the program with the biggest scrutiny. I'm not at Clemson. I'm not at Ohio State. I'm not at any of these other programs. So those programs are good too. But I'm at the program that pays everybody's mortgage, everybody's water bill, everybody's gas bill, everybody's power bill. I'm at the program that pushes every needle in college football, and that's the University of Alabama. So
Absolutely.
each day, I got to find myself paying into the homage of the program, most importantly, buying in full into the program.
Well,
Man,
Steve,
it's every day.
Hall can possibly play this year. it's a long season, man.
Yeah, you got to get your mind right.
Hall can.
That's my point.
He
Yeah.
can.
It's waking up each and every day. What can I do to get myself better? How can I give my best today? What do I need to do today to be at my very best? But see, this is the thing: the patience, the humbleness, the where you got to. It's not a one-day thing.
No, sir.
It's not.
Everyday process. That's why it's tough. Everybody said it was going to be easy.
Right.
No, sir.
That's the part of it, the young men that I don't think they understand, the mental part of it, the gifting it, the fast, the speed, the great hand, the football, all of that is a God-given gift. That you can't coach that stuff. The stuff that Coach Saban deals with these young men, and then they have to understand it's the mental part of it. It's staying locked in to the bigger picture. It's every single day being consistent, doing the right thing, even if nobody sees it, even if nobody acknowledges it, even if no one knows, no matter what, I just must stay the course. And when I do that, man, the reward, your time is coming. It ain't get ready, it's be ready.
Yeah, you got to be ready when your number called now.
That's it.
I know y'all remember back in 2016 where the beginning of the season was rocky for me. But guess what? I knew it was a long season and everything happened for a reason. And I was had in my mind when my number called, I'm gonna be ready. And then struck up the LSU game. I was ready. Then it took off from there. Auburn, Washington, and then you know what I mean? Because I was ready when my number was called. I didn't go to Coach Saban's office complaining why I'm not playing more. I didn't go there asking why I'm not getting more carry. Hell no. Anything I can do to make the team win, if they're running out there giving Damon Harrison water while he on the knee, let's fucking get it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Player. I'm trying to win the national championship. I give a damn about TDs and how many yards I have. Long as I get that ring on my finger, it gonna forever stick. Cause I'm
good. And that's what it's all about, man. When you put your team first and your teammates first, man, good things are gonna happen. And you must stay locked in. And you know, a lot of people, again, man, they wanna talk about. I hear it all the time about Pete Gold need to be fired, this and that. Man, Peter's doing a great job. Coach Saban ain't in this business to make friends. If Pete wasn't doing what he's supposed to do, guys, I'm betting you bottom dollar. I would put whatever on it that Coach Saban would have been let that guy go. He would have been fixed that situation. So it ain't Pete Golden, guys. We got to put more responsibility on these young men out there doing the playing. At the end of the day, it's on those guys producing.
Yes, sir. Statement of the night right here from Stacey Blackwood. These players get to play at Alabama. They don't have to.
That's a fact.
Right.
It's a fact.
It's a privilege.
Right.
It is a privilege. It is a privilege.
And once you earn it, that's just the beginning. Once you've gotten here, what you did in football, it's a what have you done for me lately business. Once you signed that paper and you step on campus, what you did at high school is over. It's
done.
It doesn't matter. It has no substance, no
value.
It does not matter. Who cares? Because we can all sit around and get in a circle and talk about what we did in high school. That's why we here. That's why we got the best recruiting class. That's why we Alabama, because of us together.
That's
what
right.
You did before now don't matter. It don't matter, buddy. You know, you got to bring it every single day, man. So I totally get that the process only begins once you get there.
Right. And before I turn this over to Stephen to talk about the off week, Samuel Wilkinson says there should be more leaders on this team to talk to. This is why you start to appreciate the 2017 and 2020 national titles more, because teams had enough leaders to speak.
Oh, they did. They did. They truly did. They truly did.
But guys, that's where the titles people get. That again, I just go back. That ain't. Coaching is very small when you're talking about titles. It's all about the locker room.
That's right, because Coach Saban
those guys, man.
Coach Saban always say it's not his team, it's our team.
Period.
and play. We the one that make this shit turn over.
Exactly, man.
Hey.
Coaching is a very small piece of it. I mean, and Coach Saban have said it, and you heard it. Coaching is overrated when you got great players.
Right.
Coaching is overrated, and so when a bunch of great players buy in to the same goals, that's how you get titles. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else.
Hey, AC.
Coach Saban can draw on the board, can cuss and fuss and raise all the saying he want to raise. At the end of the day, if the Jimmys and the Joes ain't producing, it don't matter.
Amen. Hey, see, speaking of titles, I go back to the year y'all won the SEC title, 1999. After we got embarrassed by Louisiana Tech in that locker room at Legion Field, you had Big Sam and all the senior leaders getting in everybody's tail and letting them have it. And all of a sudden, man, that was the turning point of the season because we went down to Gainesville and you owned that stadium, you and Freddie, y'all showed them what was up. Went to Atlanta. Did it again, and ain't nobody in the history of Steve Spurrier bested him twice. And that was because of that leadership.
I'm undefeated against the Gators, man. But again, that's exactly right. Chris Samuel and those guys, those seniors, man, they wasn't having it no other way. They would literally, man, I don't see Chris Samuel them like literally go at it with coaches about you play him. If you play him, I ain't playing. He gonna get somebody hurt. He ain't doing his job. He ain't doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, when the coaches can sit back and cross their arms, that's when you got a good football team. And them the kind of guys I was around, like literally will make you don't want to show up. I mean, I'm serious. I done showed up to practice, and guys' lockers are empty. And these were really great players because they was intimidated. They knew they had to be held at a standard, and if they didn't do it, that's what was going to happen. It wasn't going to be Coach Dubose. It wasn't going to be Coach Sweeney. You ain't going to make it upstairs. When you got in that locker room, them guys was going to handle you. They was going to handle you appropriately. Period.
And not just that. And not just that. I even go back to the 2015 team where my man Tony Brown was messing up. Coach Saban didn't know what was going on. Reggie Raggett and them boys put Tony on the bus, and Tony was sent right back to Tuscaloosa. Coach Saban was like, "What Tony at? Oh, Tony back home, Coach. We still playing. We rolling. Tony back at the crib. We rolling." They put Tony, Reggie, A-Sean, and Big Jaron Reed put Tony Butt on the bus, gave him a bus ticket, and sent him off.
And that's how it's got to be, man. I'm serious. It's about the locker room. I say it all the time. It's about the locker room. I mean, the coaches play a part in it as far as the organization, the structure, getting us mentally and just encouraging us and motivating us. But when it comes down to playing football, ain't none of them putting no cleats on. Coach Saban ain't intercept damn pass. Kirby Smart ain't intercept damn pass. None of these guys. You see what it's all about the locker room, period.
Man, I could hear that. I could listen to this the rest of the night. But I'm going to give it to Stephen M. Smith right now. We are on bye week this week. If you would, man, kind of give us what we should be expecting, what's going on, some things we're going to be working on. Kind of give us the rundown as we head into this bye week and then to play the Tigers at home next week.
Well, first and foremost, I got to pass the offering collection plate around to Pentecostal Pastor AC and Deacon Bo Scarbrough over here. Got to pass the offering collection plate over here. But anyway, so what's been going on this week in the bye week? So for Alabama, normally in a bye week, they kind of take you back to camp practice mode. So they're back working on fundamentals this week. A bunch of tackling this week, a bunch of the 1-2 basic stuff this week. I know Evan Neal was talking about how they're looking at some LSU stuff, but normally the bye week is a lot of fundamental stuff, a lot of recuperating the body and getting the right hot tub and cold tub treatment in and things of that nature. Of course, watching film. Keep your eyes on Drew Sanders this week. He had his hand x-rayed again, the hand that he hurt against Ole Miss, the sophomore outside linebacker. The team is really hopeful, especially the team doctors, Jeff Allen and his staff, that they'll have Drew on the field against LSU. And that was a young man that was really starting to grow opposite Will Anderson before the injury took place there against Ole Miss. So I actually was able to talk to Drew Sanders' dad at the game last week. So, Drew's dad was kind of telling me that, Drew's good. He's fine. He's going to be practicing this week. They're going to be x-raying his hand. So, good news to get Sanders back. I think also in practice this week, we could be seeing some things in the secondary. Don't be surprised if we see a little bit more of maybe Brian Branch in that free safety role. I mean, no offense to DeMarco Helms or Daniel Wright, but at the same time, if you're trying to play winning football, you got to have the guy back there that can really communicate and play that position. And Brian Branch is somebody of whom extremely versatile. Saban has talked about how cerebral he is as a free safety. So that could be a guy that could be in that back five or that back six coming up here against LSU. So bye week is rest week, but bye week is also a lot of fundamentals, a lot of drills, a lot of film study. And as AC and Bo have mentioned all night, hopefully this is the week where we get a whole bunch of folks getting into folks' butts and getting folks ready to go.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate you giving us that rundown. As we move into the closing segment of our show, Marvin Constant will be back next week, guys. He was out. He had a meeting he could not get out of, but you still need to visit his website, 40 Plus Strong.
Man, go cop them shirts.
Yes, his shirts, although in high demand, are still available on 40plusstrong.com, along with things to satisfy your fitness needs. So definitely you want to check that out. And also, if you're in the Atlanta area, you're looking for a home, you got to look I can't even speak. I'm so excited. You can't look no further than Cyrus Jones, the Atlanta luxury real estate man. Trust the man with your home needs. He's Bama Sci-Fi. That's all we got to say. Numbers right here.
Jones, boy, I'm talking about one of the biggest dogs at corner, man. That boy was small, but boy, that boy could play. Boy, Cy Jones could play.
I agree.
Well, AC, man, we definitely appreciate you coming on, man. I hate Freddie couldn't get in. We tried, folks, ladies and gentlemen. We did try. The technology was not in his favor. We saw his face, but we couldn't get him on air.
Man, it's all good. I'm telling you, look, we got Pentecostal AC, man. We had a great day. We had Bo in here.
Well, I just tell you guys, Justin, Steven, thank you so much for having me. Hey, Bo, little bro, so proud of you. Good to see you. Man, I wish you guys the best. Praying for you daily. Man, you guys just keep up the good work. I'm here anytime you need me. And, man, we're going to get them, boy. We're going to get on the right track.
We coming out on top.
The tide going to be all right. The tide going to be all right. Coach Saban know what he's doing. Like I tell Coach Saban in this business to making friends. If them guys ain't doing what they're supposed to do, like they always say, like the 5-star that's not playing. Obviously, Coach Saban is going to play the best player. He ain't sitting there if they the best player saying, I ain't going to play you because I don't like your shirt or I don't like what you're doing. No, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, period. And so he's not going to reward that. So, man, we're going to finish strong. And, again, thank you so much to the Bama world. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
AC.
Yo.
AC,
I lost you.
AC, pop your business, man. Tell the folks in your area about your business.
Yes, man. So please come visit. Burst Desserts, Alabama, Alabama. 8919 Highway 119. Highway 119, Alabama, Alabama. Come visit. Some of the best desserts. Bo Scarbrough will deliver down to Tuscaloosa, man. Anytime.
I'm coming first hand, hands on.
Hey, come on up here, Bo. I need to see you so I can get a picture on you. I got to get a picture with all the guys that come through. Man, again, Burt's Desserts, man, my wife and I have a phenomenal bakery here in the Alabaster area, man, that the community has been supporting really well. We just did some stuff down at Bryant Museum, 300 cupcakes. Much love to Olivia, the new director down there. And, man, we just thank the Alabama community so much for supporting and coming through. Hey, even if you don't like Alabama, you still got to get you some desserts. Come get
I'm ordering
some. It's the best in the country, man.
That's it.
I'm ordering 20 cupcakes.
Okay, so I'm sliding through Alabaster to get me some cupcakes. I'm already saying that right now.
I'm gonna keep your word on that, Steve, because I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna let the world know you came through. The same with you.
Okay, I'm gonna slide through the Alabaster and get these cupcakes, but I'm gonna do also this for Justin. So Justin, of course, even though it's the bye week, in my own words, we still rolling here with TDA. I mean, y'all think y'all don't sleep. I don't know what sleep is. So Wednesday, I'm gonna be back in the studio talking Crimson Tide football. I've gotten a lot of voicemails. Some of them I've listened to. Some of them I'm like, what in the world possessed you to say this? So I gotta be answering a whole bunch of voicemails on Wednesday's show. Hey, we're gonna have fun with it, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. And call into the show in my own words every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. We have fun. I crack jokes. We got the producer dropping some of the hottest music in there. It's fun in there.
Awesome, man. Again, thank y'all so much.
Oh, I thank you. Hey, and I hope after today's sermon that y'all will call a prayer line, because we're definitely going to make it available to those who are. We did have church. And I think
they think it's, man, it's real out here. If you don't bring it, you're going to get embarrassed.
Amen. Hey, on that note.
It's a mindset. It starts up top, man. It ain't going to just happen. If your mind ain't right, you're going to get embarrassed or you're going to get hurt. You got to bring it every day. You got to bring every day's an interview, man. So I'm going to go by get back started, man. Come see us at Burst Desserts.
And the church said, roll tide.
Roll tide.